life, something completely different. Violence, sex, murder. We met on the yard, and we got along great. He had a great sense of humor. We hugged. I told him that, I wanted to know what really happened. He began to try to impress me that he was the real thing, and wrote these confessions to me that were absolutely hair-raising and hideous. We published a book of his writings called Killer Fiction. Schaefer had conscripted me to perpetrating the illusion that he's merely a creative artist who writes about murder exceptionally well. And the reason that his stories are convincing is because he's such a talented artist. I find he's a good writer. I believe he's also a serial killer as well. I went along with helping him publish his murder fantasies as they came closer and closer to the edge of what was real. While Schaefer was presenting to the world the story that he was a creative writer writing about murder, he was at the same time sending me confidential letters telling me what he had really done, claiming between 80 and 110 murders. And then he threatened me if I told that he would kill me and have my daughter killed. He also attempted to put a guilt trip on me and tell me that it was my fault that all these women had died because I dumped him when he needed me. I just said, forget it. What you told me and asked me to keep secret, I don't owe you that anymore. I left his life once again.
At the University of Florida in Gainesville today, there is widespread concern that a serial killer is on the loose. This morning, the bodies of a man and woman were found at a student apartment building. Since Sunday, 3 young women, all students, have been found dead near the university.
In Gainesville, Florida last night, a drifter, Danny Harold Rawling, was indicted for the murders of 5 college students at the University of Florida last year.
Originally, when I had published the material on Schaefer, it drew the attention of a number of inmates who then plied me with offers to do their stories. Danny Rawling presented himself and said, I will give you your answers. Study me. To have this central crime figure contact me and say, without any kinds of games, I want to give you my story. I want to explore the roots of what went wrong with me, and I want it to be you to do it. I found that pretty gratifying from the beginning. They called me from the state's attorney's office and said, do you want to see Danny? Of course. They said, come tomorrow morning and you'll see him. I was so excited I couldn't sleep. I went to the prison the next day, and they took me in this little chamber, and they brought Danny in, and I saw him for the first time. And when he's in court, he's always very upset and sad. Every picture that had been published always had a sad face. And he turned to me, just smiled the sweetest smile at me. And I found myself immensely attracted to him. As a man, he made me feel like a woman. I had been very nervous. How would we get along? How would we really feel together? And we just slid into each other so naturally. We would be having a conversation on 2 sides of glass. We were separated by glass. We had one guard there monitoring us. And we would be talking about the things that were going on, like his confessions. And one of us would be looking at the other, talking, and the other one was talking away, and the other one would just go,
Rules say I have to give Mr. Rawling an opportunity to have a say. You have anything you want to say, Mr. Rawling?
Well, sir. If it please the court, could I address the court?
Sure. Say whatever you want to say.
Thank you. And I recall the day I first saw you, I reached out to say I love you, but it was hard to say, I couldn't touch you. So tell me, baby, what were my words? All my tears run together.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollins.
Down the
Mr.
path
Rollins.
you choose
Mr. Rollins.
to follow.
Mr. Rollins.
Tell me, baby, what were my words? All my tears run together. What were my words? All my tears run together, baby, just like rain.
Okay, you get one song and that's it, Mr. Rollins. We're not here so that you can address your friend. We're here for sentencing.
The world of serial killers is a very strange place where statuses are based on qualities that we might not be aware of in the free world. You take a guy like Schaefer, he's been locked up for 20 years, no one remembers his crimes, and lo and behold, he looks up and he sees me, the object of his 25-year-long obsession, on TV, being serenaded by the new serial killer on the block, who is younger, better looking, more interesting to the media, has a lot more groupies. Also, I have given Danny Rolling something I had never given Schaefer, which is a frank acknowledgement to the public that I care for him. Too bad, Schaefer, I don't love you.
Well, how do you feel?
Sondra, what'd you think?
Kind of nervous right now.
Why?
Kind of excited.
Why are you excited, Sondra?
Because Danny loves me.
Why this attraction to serial killers?
What a lame question. You can do better than that.
But what's the answer?
That is lame.
Why the attraction to Danny Rawlings?
That's different. Danny Rolling is a person, okay? And my feelings for Danny Rolling are based upon what kind of person he is. It's not because he's a serial killer. Danny and I are both very emotional, very volatile, very creative, and the more I have known Danny, the more it has brought out the Danny side of me. Danny is very talented in the visual arts. When you try to verbalize, you can trick yourself, but when you draw images, you can't lie. The hands cannot lie. The little fallen angel that he had drawn, people usually ask me, what do you love about Danny? If I could just point to that little fallen angel, the face, the look on his face, this is the little Danny.